entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Thunderous greetings to everybody out there in the internet world, and welcome to another episode of Screen Time Continuum. I am Nick, and I'm joined by Lynn. What is going on, good sir? Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, indeed. Happy
Hey,
Thursday.
I got it right.
Is it
Thursday, Wednesday,
Thursday. I'm running with that one. I'm running with that. No, definitely. Happy Thursday, brother. It's a great day so far. I mean, it's kind of, I guess, rounding out, but it's still going well.
That's wonderful to hear. Yeah, I'm glad to hear it, man. And we are hoping that you're having a wonderful evening or whenever you're listening to this. We very much appreciate it. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the trailer that just dropped 2 days ago for Thor, Love, and Thunder. We're going to go through it with you guys, see if we can find any little Easter eggs or hints, and break down our opinions about what we see in this newest trailer that dropped just a couple days ago. You can go check that out, obviously, at the Marvel YouTube page. If you haven't seen the trailer, you can watch along with us if you'd like, or you can go check it out right now. It'll be the first thing you pop up when you search Love and Thunder. So check that out and then come back to us, or just watch along with us, and we'll kind of just have a discussion as we watch it. Keatlin, anything you want to say before we jump into this?
Lightning and the thunder. Man, before we jump into this, I don't know if I need anything to preface. I will say this, actually, when I think about it. I have not been as intrigued or excited about a trailer in quite some time. The last time it definitely was not a Disney trailer. But they nailed it with this trailer. I don't know if they're gonna nail it with this movie, but they nailed it with this trailer. I'll open with that.
Yeah, I think the trailer does something well. It has that sort of Waititi-ness to it, Taika Waititi-ness. Of course, using a very nostalgic classic rock song is sort of his MO now. He did that with Ragnarok, using Led Zeppelin's The Immigrant Song, and now he's using Guns N' Roses' Sweet Child of Mine for this one. Unfortunately, we will not be playing this trailer with audio because we do not want to get copyright struck. So even if it is fair use, the music, they'll kill us for that.
I'm not even gonna try it.
No, it's cool. But you can imagine in your head, just think of the song and you'll get there. You'll get there.
Well, think of it as an orchestral rendition of the Guns N' Roses song.
All right, so let's just get into it. The first opening scene here at 0 seconds is, I believe, Thor under a tree meditating, right?
Yes, it looks like the Tree of Life from The Lion King.
Yeah, kind of does.
And that means that he's probably sitting on top of Pride Rock. I'm curious who the two people walking up towards him are. Would that be Valkyrie and Korg, or who would that be approaching?
Yeah, it might be the same area as this, because we see Korg here with all of these. I don't know. Are they people? They're kind of gray looking.
Yeah, let's call them childlings. Yeah. But if you look over to the left in the background behind Korg, that's the tree, right?
Yeah.
So no, that's that. I want to say the inference here isn't necessarily that this is happening at the same time as Thor sitting back there, but that wherever they are, Thor is more of a mystery than revered.
Yeah. And you get the feeling in this scene here with Korg talking about Thor in the past tense, that Thor is going to be dead by the end of this.
Him going to be dead.
Apparently, because he was talking about how he was this and he was that,
Well, but he's telling his story. He's telling the Thor story of Thor on Earth and all of the things before the fall of Asgard, it seems.
Right. This is...
Now, can we round that back a little bit?
Oh, man.
Round that back. Sorry. I know.
You got to jump at the opportunity. All right.
All right.
We
So
ready?
right after, it's a little before, because before the cloak. See right there. There's like stars or something shooting past Thor. One already shot
Yeah.
past, and you see all of the damage behind him. So clearly somebody is attacking. Thor's just standing up there like the big bad as Korg is telling the story to seemingly the same people that's behind him, but now they're out behind Thor. One of the people are going to catch. See that there? Looks like they catch that orb or whatever that is. And it made me notice that down to the left looks like a teenage group.
A teenage group? Oh,
Teenage
oh,
group.
it is. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
So
Very
the Guardians are
blended
going to
in.
be in this.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We know that they're going to be in.
Oh, I
in
forgot about
this
the other
movie
scene.
already.
Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet though.
Oh, it was in the last trailer too. We knew that
Okay.
they were going to be in there, but we
Look at me
got
thinking I'm dropping bombs.
the actuating of Stormbreaker.
Mm-hmm.
This probably will be at the beginning of the movie when he's with the Guardians, and then he decides to set out on his own. That's kind of where I think it is. I don't think the Guardians are going to be in this a whole lot.
No,
I think it's
I think
just
they're
to set the story up, and then they'll be out of there.
Yeah, so my theory on this trailer in general is that this whole thing we're seeing right now is more of a flashback, leading to more so talk to the audience, right? Like Korg's telling the story to the kids or whomever, to really just kind of remind us of who Thor was, and then from not right after this part right here, where you're right, forget about this. We saw the Guardians. He's talking about he wasn't no ordinary man, he was a god, and right after this is when we jump into what's this movie's actually about. Everything before was, in my opinion, Thor 1 and 2, or 1, 2, and 3. It's Thor 4, right?
Yeah, this is the fourth one.
Yeah.
They'll just get a little bit of a peek of New Asgard, I think, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Trying to bring
Small
that
peek.
back there. Okay, cool. Yeah. And it looks like they got cruise ships coming in, so they got some sort of tourism.
Yep.
Yeah.
And seemingly not on Earth, if they were talking about, or Korg is telling a story of Thor saving Earth for the 500th time.
I think New Asgard is on Earth, though.
That'd be interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, honestly. So he sets up, and right. So this is where all the new stuff starts. He sets off on a new journey. So even though we've already seen him fit and in shape,
well, this would be how he got in shape,
right?
So
But this would be
before
Thor number 3, yeah, like at the end of Thor 3 or the beginning of Thor 3.
No, because Thor 3 was after or was before Endgame.
Correct.
And Endgame is when he got fat.
When he got fat, right? Yeah. Endgame is when he got fat. All right, got it.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember which movie he got fat in, and I couldn't remember.
Right. I love this. Like they got to do the CrossFit stuff with the giant chains.
The chains. He's just doing regular jumping jacks, pulling a whole rocket ship. And what kind of a ship is this? This looks like some Star Wars stuff. Look here, Disney.
I think it's the Milano.
The Milano. Oh, okay. The ship.
So I think he's the Guardians of the Galaxy. I think that he's training with them.
Okay. I mean, he does have a bestie up there.
Yeah.
When you want to tell people you really feel about him, you got to look him in the eye.
That's right. And it looks like some indistinct alien attack is going on. This might be New Asgard as well. Because New Asgard is like Odin, when Odin, I think it's in Ragnarok, when Odin meets Loki and Thor on that cliffside.
Right.
He says this is where it should be, and it's like somewhere in Nova Scotia or something.
Oh, I did not catch that, and I know exactly what you're talking about. I remember that whole scene and everything, and I never put those two things together until you just said that.
Yeah, so they built New Asgard on that place where Odin
it's the
died.
Exact same ridge. Yep.
Yeah.
It's the exact same ridge. Wow.
That's it. So I think this might be New Asgard because it's got like a fishing town vibe with the architecture, but maybe not.
Him and Aquaman can hang out. I said it. I know, but I said it.
Yeah. Hey man, why not?
Hey, I mean, look, the way everything is getting intermingled nowadays, so it's bound to happen.
We got the return of Mjolnir here.
Wait, before you push play, I just want to say, do you think they'll do a crossover and he'll get Aquaman or he'll get the Deep?
I mean, I don't think the Deep. Nah, Probably not with the deep. It'd be a better movie with Aquaman.
Yeah, that was literally why I asked that question, because which do you
Yeah.
think would be more entertaining? Exactly.
Probably, yeah.
But right, we get back to so this is reconstructed Mjolnir, yeah.
His Jane's Mjolnir.
Well, it is correct. It's definitely James Mjolnir. So, with the cracks though,
Yeah,
is that because it was destroyed?
it was destroyed, and she must have had the means to piece it together again.
Okay, I get why they did that. That's to prove to us it's not a multiverse or different reality or timeline. It's the same timeline. Got it.
Right.
Makes
Right.
sense.
It's the same Mjolnir.
Same Milner, yeah. That part, that look on his face, I was like, yeah, all right, Hemsworth, that was good.
I don't know why he's so upset. I mean, Stormbreaker's a dope weapon, but
Milner's still his.
Mjolnir is technically still his. Not anymore, man. It's Jane's. Okay,
I mean,
get over it.
She is Thor. It's not his fault that he was named after his title and didn't give it a real name.
Oh, Thor is a real name. They just
his name
Thor is a real name. It's not a title. Odinson is the family name.
Correct.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, technically it's a title. If she's what is she?
Well, it's a title for her purpose, for the purposes of having a female Thor. That's how they justify it. It's just a title. Fair. That's, like, okay, sure, but it's also a name of a god that this whole thing is based on.
True. Yeah.
She's actually the mighty Thor.
Okay. Yeah. And that there's a distinct difference between Thor, God of Thunder, and the mighty Thor. The mighty Thor is not the God of Thunder. Mostly the mighty Thor gets his powers from Mjolnir.
Right. Then you get this.
I do like Jane coming back though, and I like how Korg telling the story is like, oh, spoke too soon.
Right.
Also, keep going. Sorry.
Oh no, it just looks like you get an updated version of the classic Thor helmet. Right.
I like that, and starting from Korg, like, oh, spoke too soon. Looking at the I don't know what we would call that, but the cleanliness, so to speak, but it's not so much of a cleanliness as much of as you could see the CG and the animation effects put onto these next scenes. It reminds me kind of like a slapstick comedy, like right here. It's like a Mel Brooks movie. You know what I mean? Like you have it reminds you that Thor, sometimes like the Incredible Hulk, but mostly Thor, has a different level of humor than all of the other characters.
Yeah, I would say he's more, ever since Ragnarok, right? Because that's what Taika Waititi did to Thor, which I don't necessarily.
But I think Thor was like that in the comic books.
But he wasn't as comedic. I don't know if he was as comedic as he is now.
I agree. I mean, I don't know. And even with the cartoons, I've always credited in Marvel, Thor, and in DC, Aquaman with kind of being the comic relief. Like they take themselves so seriously that it's not serious at all. But I've always credited those two with that. And I feel like, but I do agree, it's the last two movies. But I do feel like this Thor, the Thor we've been getting, is reminding us that, hey, Thor, although a god, but because he's a god, he never really took anyone or anything too serious.
Yeah. Valkyrie, probably Valkyrie.
Yeah, that was for sure. But I'm still jealous, and every time I see one, I bring it
up. Old ex-girlfriend.
I would love for us to get the Valkyrie movie.
Oh, I'm sure that'll happen, but I don't know. Tessa Thompson needs to do something more than scowl, and then she'll then I'm for it.
Yeah, I mean, because we know she can act. My problem with her, I'll say it that way. My problem with her recent appearances as Valkyrie is you can see that there was probably more shot and it was pulled. Like usually,
maybe.
For me at least.
It's a fine tertiary character. I don't need her to be that important in the story. She's already King Valkyrie, which is just another way of saying Queen Valkyrie, but that's none of my business. So we got Jane. She's been like, it's been 3 or 4 years, and of course Thor knows exactly to the day how long it's been since he hasn't seen
7 months,
her.
6 days.
Yeah. What's funny? So maybe you can answer this to me, because I don't really understand why Thor even cares about this chick anymore. Like,
because he's infatuated. And Nobody's ever made Thor work for it. It's
But
Thor.
we haven't seen her since Thor: Love and Thunder. I just don't understand
I
why
agree.
she would even be
But
coming
who was
back.
his love interest between?
I mean, Thor: Dark World. Sorry. He doesn't need to have a love interest. Just let him go smash stuff, man. I don't want to see Thor going to find a girlfriend.
It's Thor.
Yeah.
And I'll say that. I don't understand why they made Thor and Jane a relationship piece or an item, but
Mhm.
I am aware that they kind of had to introduce her anyway because we knew she would be the mighty Thor. And
Well,
you
they
know, I
had to
mean,
because they chose to, though.
okay,
It's not
fair.
like they had to.
You're right, fair. But I'm trying to remember. So you have Jane ends up in the Thor movies.
Mhm.
You have Kat Dennings' character, whose name I don't remember.
Oh, it's all female Avengers is coming, man.
No,
It's
no, 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 no,
coming.
no. I'm not going towards that. I'm saying the
Oh,
Kat
I
Dennings
am.
character ends up in WandaVision.
Yeah. You
Uh,
got
um,
Sylvie, Loki. You got
right.
you got
Wait, stop. You're going into the Avengers. I'm not going into the Avengers right now. I'm talking
okay.
about from the first Thor, the 3 physicists that were all working, and they all ended up working with Thor. They all ended up in different movies. The third guy, he ended up in Loki, right?
Who?
The male physicist that was working, or he ended up in Ant-Man or something.
The
That
guy
was
that got
originally
the guy that did the Tesseract?
correct. Yeah, him, that guy, Tesseract guy.
Yeah, he was in Avengers.
Avengers, right. So
Yeah,
what
and
I'm
Thor
looking at
1.
is I'm trying to figure out where does the significance of their origin play into where all 3 of them end up, with Jane ending up as the mighty Thor.
Oh, I don't know. I
Like
mean,
I'm thinking they should use that line. They should play that somehow into bring it full circle, because there is a question mark there that can be utilized in one of these storylines outside of the female or lady Avengers. I'm not sure what they call it, but outside of that, they call it
did
the A-Force.
did Thor get blipped or snapped?
That's a great question. I don't remember.
I don't remember either. Why don't I remember that?
That means he
That's
probably didn't, but I
yeah.
don't remember.
That's weird.
I don't think it's ever been a part of any of the storylines for us to remember.
No, I guess he wouldn't have, because after Infinity War, he was in Ragnarok. So he was around. He didn't get snaps.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think so. All I think is like, what is the way in which Jane becomes worthy of Mjolnir? And I'm thinking, well, if he got snapped, then the role is empty. So that makes sense that somebody could be, found by Mjolnir or whatever.
Right. Wait, wasn't Thor? No. Okay, I know what happened. Thor was not snapped, but he also wasn't killed. He was left floating in space. He didn't die.
Right.
Yeah, that's
okay. Well, yeah. I mean, he already lost the mantle anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, he's not worthy.
He's not worthy. This looks like Olympus, I guess. Probably where Zeus is.
Yeah, because this is where Zeus is.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think about it being Olympus, but yeah.
I
And so I'm
figured.
also questioning. Just curious, what is Valkyrie's purpose in this particular one? When you have
she's gonna find it. She's finding a queen. I'm not even kidding. that's
Fair.
her.
No. I don't think you're kidding. I think that's the crazy part is, if you were kidding, I wouldn't even laugh. It's the fact that you're not kidding that makes it funny, because I'm like, I feel like I'm sure you've heard or read that somewhere, and I just haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, so I mean, the whole thing is like, at least from what I heard from Tessa Thompson's mouth when she got interviewed about it, she said Valkyrie is going to be looking for her queen. Those are her words. So
maybe it'll be the mighty Thor.
Just put him in a dress. Put him in a dress already. Let's do it.
Valkyrie and Thor have always had a thing for each other, but this time it's going to be Jane instead of Thor.
Yeah, I don't even think Thor and Jane are going to get together. I think that's a misdirect too.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think that goes back to what you were asking about. Why have the love story? I think that is past. I don't think they're going to utilize that this time around, because I think it was one of the weaker points of the first time they tried it.
He's going to sacrifice himself for her or for somebody else. I mean, it's already pretty set in stone that he's dead.
He had to die, yeah.
Yeah. We're just sending him off to
I mean, he
his
technically
fifth.
already died, so they didn't really have to do this, but I'm not really mad that they did it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much more you can, squeeze out of Thor.
Oh, dang it. I should have said pause faster. I was trying to figure out, do you think that was a ship or an asteroid? Because that is
Looks
this
kind of like the
whole.
same place Thanos was, right?
Which place
When
was
he
that?
was floating out in space at the before
I get
before
you.
he took action, his throne was on that like meteor.
Okay,
But
plausible.
I don't know if it's the same spot. Maybe not, but
But
kind of
it's
reminds me of
plausible.
that.
I can understand that inference. But yeah, so it says here, Gore, the
Gore's
only
realm.
ones, right? Yeah, Gore's realm. The only ones who gods care about are themselves, is what he says.
Mm-hmm. You
Um,
see his sword here.
and what I love is there's two things I love about this character already. Number one, do you know his full name?
Gord the Godslayer.
Gore the
Or
God
Butcher.
Butcher.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was Gore the God Slayer at first too. When I looked it up and it said Gore the God Butcher, I was like, wait. A butcher is way different than a slayer.
Mm.
That's two totally different adjectives right there. Or would those be I think those are adjectives. But that's two totally different outlooks. That was
Mm-hmm.
one for me. And then I was like, man, I can't wait to find out who's gonna play Gore. Christian Bale
Yeah.
is Gore the God Butcher. And I feel like Gore the God Butcher has a really good presence in this trailer.
Yeah. I think he's going to be fine. I don't know. I mean, Christian Bale's a great actor, so I'm also wondering, like, Ethan Hawke was a great actor too.
Oh, shit.
And we all know Marvel has a villain problem, and
Yes, they do.
And so, like, I hope Christian Bale isn't like. I would actually prefer it if this isn't a one and done for Christian Bale's character. I'd like to see, like, maybe this isn't the only movie that he's in.
Right.
It just seems like a waste of Christian Bale if you're not going to put him in at least another movie, right?
Maybe, perhaps, depending
You're
on how
going to get
far
him for
this
just
goes.
one movie?
Well, it also depends. It depends to me on how far Gore the God Butcher goes in this particular film. So if he's like the Collector, where he kind of goes maxed out, but he doesn't die, and you could possibly see him coming back like the Collector, that would be acceptable. I wouldn't be mad at that. But if he goes out like I'll use Starro in Invincible, one episode ish, kind of like Starro should have been dead in one episode, but he was. So there you go. There's nothing you can do about it. It's over. If they make it that, then I agree it would be a total waste of Christian Bale.
Yeah, it just seems like it'd be like, this seems like a very intense character. I just don't know if the full impact can be had in just one movie. I mean, the reason Thanos was such a great villain is that he was teased for multiple movies before he even showed up.
Yeah, but we got that out of Kang too, and I don't know if we're even gonna see him again.
Kang,
I'm sorry. Yeah, there's a Loki season 2, so we will.
Kang seems like an afterthought now. It doesn't make any sense. Although the Kang thing actually really is like, okay, so he chose all of the problems in the world. Like, that's the perfect timeline. The perfect timeline was when, all these bad things happen. I don't know. I think Loki kind of messes up. I like the Kang character, and I want to see him actually take over a timeline. Like, I want to see that. I just don't know about how Loki sort of messes with all of that.
Yeah, I'm
not sure.
We'll talk about it another time, I'm sure, but I'm still curious to what are you even gonna do for a season 2? But
yeah, I know.
It better be the Kang show. That's all I know.
Yeah, you would think it'd have to be, right? You it was such a big reveal at the end. And see Thor here with it might be Korg, but it might be somebody else.
That looks like Korg. He has a Korg build.
Yeah, and it looks like maybe one of Gore's bodies. Yeah, or no, like something Gore killed, right? I mean, that would look like a.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Since he's a god butcher, maybe he,
Right. This right here is the only time he looked like Christian Bale.
Yeah, he looks like Voldemort in a lot of the other. So and it's kind of weird because you can tell that his facial features changed, because in the other shot he had scars and X's along his
Right.
head. Right here, he doesn't have that. Maybe
Right.
this is like when he decided that he was going to go kill all the gods.
Right. I was about to say this almost seems like war times. Like they changed not only his paint, but they changed his makeup. So like it was made for the makeup to not be as heavy around this time and whatever is going on in the movie versus when we first were introduced to him, because it was more of a hey, look at me moment. Yeah, yeah, run it back just a little. Like this
Because look, watch
introduction.
it. Yeah. Oh shoot! Of course. There we go. Look at his face there.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
Look at all of the scars. So I would say that the scene we just saw might be a flashback to when he decided to go be a god butcher, and this is when
Oh,
he's been like in the fight for a
he is
while.
the God Butcher. I got you.
Yeah. So we might see a little bit of an origin here for let me pull that back. There we go. See, yeah, he has no scars there.
I
So this might
vow.
be the beginning.
Right. I like his vow that he vows that all gods will die.
It's a tall order.
It's a tall order.
Yeah. I think he only has like a magical sword too. I don't know if he has. Does he have any other power sets?
Not that I'm aware of as of yet. I didn't really get to do a deep dive on him yet. But
Yeah.
the fact that you've already killed gods, you know you're capable of killing gods, and you were dubbed the God Butcher. I'm just gonna sit back and watch this fight.
Yeah. I mean, obviously he's gonna have to be a big deal. So
Right. We've seen an ant kill an elephant.
see, and this is how I think they could continue the God Butcher.
Mhm.
Have him kill Thor.
Okay.
And
He
have
does
that be the end
insist
of the
that Thor
movie.
is different. Even in the trailer, he insists that Thor is different than other gods he's killed.
Yeah. So maybe have him kill Thor, then you get rid of Thor, and then you have a really bad enemy for whatever
Jane.
team or Jane, I guess, whatever.
Well, yeah, but then I could see the team coming into play because then people are going to come help Jane. She's not in. She's not well adept or
He's not a seasoned fighter yet.
there you go. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out like how do I say that, but yeah, she's not there yet.
hmm This looks more of Olympus here. The
That's not the same
chariot.
place.
Yeah, this is definitely Olympus because you see the towers and it's all in the
Mhm.
sky and stuff. So I think this is just another look at it. And this seems that ship seems to be Thor's ship,
Pulled by horses.
pulled by horses. Yeah, flying horses at that.
Mhm.
Yeah, very impressive what you did back there. And then she's like, "Oh, it's nothing. It was just my first time."
So I'm guessing they like okay here.
She uses that a shotgun. I'm gonna try to get the scene. There we go.
Oh, okay, I'm guessing this is when they break him free from Zeus, and that's what he tells her after.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
I do like
Curious.
the effect that since Mjolnir is shattered, you could use it as buckshot like that,
That
and it
is
would
pretty
come
cool.
back.
That is pretty cool. And
It's a cool
considering
idea.
Mjolnir is almost like a boomerang, like you can call it back to you, it comes back naturally. That
Yeah,
makes sense.
it would all come back together
Shattered.
too.
Mm-hmm. I am curious
Just
as to how she even becomes Thor or Mjolnir gets power. Maybe they harvested something out of the Tesseract and did that. I don't know.
I'm not sure either. I know that in the canon, she was like terminally ill, right? And then
Yes,
she
I
gets
think
her
Thor
power
saved her
somehow.
life, and that gave her powers or something.
Right. Yeah. So I'm not sure how they're gonna do it. We'll have to see, I suppose. Another shot
Or
of
Korg.
gore.
Korg. Why do I keep calling him Korg? Gore. I like that his sword and that angle looks like a cross.
Oh yeah. And there's a lot of black and white in this sort of realm where Gore is too. So I'm wondering if he's in some weird dimension. Because how does he get around? Does he fly a spaceship?
Not sure.
Is he jumping universes? Maybe
Not
he's
sure at all.
yeah.
There's a lot of power in his eyes.
Yes. Looks like he's about to destroy a planet with his sword, thrusting it.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. He obliterates this planet.
And I like even in a trailer, like that's what got me excited is the smallest details that charge you saw in his eyes to seeing him slam the sword to seeing this planet explode. This is a trailer. You know, now unless they're giving us all of the really good parts in the trailer, this is a trailer, and Disney tends not to give you the best parts in the trailer.
Yeah.
So it got me really excited again for the Christian Bale Gore character specifically. But you know, it's a Thor movie, so you're gonna have to know what's going on with the Thor stuff too, and that looks fun. So
Thor v Gore.
Thor v. Gore.
Yeah. This kind of reminds me a little bit of the Power Stone as well, right? That was when the Power Stone was introduced in Guardians of the Galaxy. There was a guy that had like a staff that did the same thing. Just tap the staff onto the planet and just blows up.
Planet up.
Yeah. And we know from Loki, another crazy throwaway thing that they did for a laugh is that there are multiple Infinity Stones. They're all just laying around.
Infinity paperweights.
Infinity paperweights, yeah. And then we get a little bit of ooh la la. Are they? Will they? Won't they? They won't, guys. They're not going to.
Yeah, I don't think so at all.
Then we get Russell Crowe
as
Thick Boy Zeus.
Thick Boy Zeus.
Thick Boy Zeus.
You know he's gonna give you though. Hey, what are you doing? Like, why do you have such a rasp in your voice?
In Gods We Trust. Oh, sorry.
I thought that said Thor We Trust.
We get a little bit of Valkyrie fighting with Gore here. This seems to be in some sort of realm where most of the color is absent.
My issue, even with this in the trailer, is it looks like this is the end of the Valkyrie.
I don't think so. Why would they kill her off? They're gonna do a female Avengers, man. I'm telling you.
I'm trying to figure out why would she be fighting Gore, because she's not a god.
Maybe she needed to save him from save Thor.
Once again,
Thor has to be saved.
The end of the not Valkyrie the character, the Valkyrie as a species.
What's that even?
She's the last one, isn't she?
I guess.
Oh, she was.
Yeah, Valkyrie is actually a title, though.
This is true.
No, I guess it looks like she's holding her own. She's also wielding Zeus's thunderbolt, which I believe is we will probably see on Olympus. Gore come to Olympus and murder Zeus, so that Valkyrie can take the thunderbolt, because I don't think Zeus would give his thunderbolt away. Yeah.
Well, maybe she doesn't die. She has Zeus's thunderbolt. That makes a big difference.
Now, actually, Gore might be riding on this ship. If you think about it, we've seen this ship a couple times, and I don't see why Thor would break into the palace like that.
Well, at this point, Thor was being held captive, so how would he?
Right.
So, yeah, it's more probable that is Gore's ship.
Right. We got some arena fighting, gladiator fighting.
Right, using his whips or his chain, the chains as whips.
The chains, yeah.
Looking like he's straight out of Iron Man 2.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a little bit of Wonder Woman there.
Yeah,
he's wearing a dress. And so, like, it's really interesting to me the way Gore has transformed so dramatically. Like, in every scene, he looks different. I'm wondering if they're doing that on purpose. Like, he kind of constantly changes his appearance in certain ways.
Perhaps, or it could just be a part of the acting and the camera work.
Yeah.
Like facial expressions that Christian Bale would make, even with the same makeup, would look different.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm definitely interested, because it does seem like he keeps sort of like shifting. He's definitely getting worse and worse, almost like maybe the sword is corrupting him. Ooh. Or something like that. Like, he looks like he's being corrupted somehow.
I like that. Yeah, maybe he's tapping into a different level of power, an entity.
Yeah.
Another entity.
Cosmic, maybe the cosmic energy or the Phoenix Force or something.
Yeah, if he could tap in and he found out how, that would definitely be tearing him apart from the inside out.
He's got a little Phoenix Force eyeball there.
Looks like it.
A little bit.
And every time we've seen, at least in this trailer, right before some level of power expelled by him, he has golden eyes.
Mm-hmm. And this is we get Nebula and Drax. Okay, cool. So they might be doing their own thing. They might do
I think this is them still a little bit
still with the Guardians. Yeah, probably. Oh, a little hand holdy.
I don't think that's Valkyrie. I mean, excuse me. I don't think that's Thor and Jane.
I think it's Jane and Valkyrie.
Yeah.
I think that's Jane and Valkyrie. Oh, maybe not. The hand on the right looks like Thor's hand.
Looks like Thor's hand.
Yeah. I just don't think that they're gonna sell the Jane and Thor thing. Like,
I don't know. I'm curious now because I was thinking the same thing you were thinking that wasn't gonna happen, but
I think it's a misdirect.
I didn't think
still.
that was their hands touching at first.
Right.
Or maybe that's how they touch to combine their powers, and they try to make it discreet.
Yeah, maybe. And this is another shot where Bale looks almost indiscernible here. Very difficult.
Like tell me you're not watching. Just Christian Bale in this trailer makes you want to watch this movie.
It looks pretty cool. I definitely like the the monochrome
here.
The monochrome shots, very Sin City-esque.
And again, playing to, at least when you have the audio on, the black and white scene, even between them, playing to kind of, again, that slapstick feel, that comedy feel. Still having the same threat of action possibility, but just giving you a little more of a, what's the word I'm looking for? But having a little more grit to it, a little more feel. It's not straight to the violence and the grittiness. We're not trying to make you feel like something sinister is going down, but you will know there's a fight coming, and you might be entertained.
You got Jane here summoning. I mean, I guess she's Goddess of Thunder now, right?
Yeah, I mean that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
But that's why I had the question is how does she, my original question is how does she become a god? But then I remembered she gets her powers straight from Mjolnir. So how does she summon thunder?
Yeah, that's a good question. But I think like she's got both. So at some point, I think that the mantle, maybe that's the end. Maybe it's, Thor dying and passing on the thunder power to her. It's possible. And then we get the scene here in Olympus, I believe.
We don't have to watch that number.
Yeah, this is a little bit cringy.
I don't understand it for a Disney, like for Marvel. It's like, why?
It's just to get their shirts off, man. They have a contract.
Right. We all say that. Yeah, we always say that in the contract. Somehow.
Every episode, like. I mean, like it's a little bit pandery at this point. It's like, come on, dude. Did they have to have that? We know that Chris Hemsworth is ripped. Okay, we don't need proof of it every time.
Yeah. Right, it's not a question for anybody. It's just to me, okay, like topless, fine. When this particular one is like, oh, he's completely naked, and I was like, wait, that's way beyond anything they've ever tried or done before.
Right, and then they blur it out too, so it's like they know that they're doing something dumb.
Yeah. And they're going to blur it out in the movie,
of course.
But I'm thinking maybe that's part of the rollout for the phase 4 and everything. Like they're just gonna push the line.
Thor's butt.
Oh, not Thor's butt is a part of it, but I'm saying they're gonna continue to push the line, see what they could get away with, what they can't get away with, what's gonna get backlash, what's gonna be accepted. If we can drop 2 F-bombs in this movie, we can explode a couple of heads in this movie, show Thor butt naked in this movie, in 3 more movies, we can actually just chop off a head.
Yeah, I mean, Disney is trying to push it a little bit further than they normally go, for sure, especially in the recent, stuff that they put out. But I don't know. I think it's just a cheap thing. Everybody loves Thor. Like all the moms love Chris Hemsworth. So, I can just see that they just want to have him naked in a scene.
Something for the moms. Thanks for spending your money.
Something for the moms, exactly. Which, it's fine. It's fine. But this is also, interestingly enough, he's doing the Hulk Hogan biopic, so that's why he's so jacked in this.
I didn't know he was doing that.
He got extra ripped because he played Hulk Hogan. So, yeah.
Hey, talk about having 2 good contracts back to back. Now that paid off.
That's why his trapezoids are so ridiculously large. Like, who's traps?
Right. I definitely noticed he's much larger in his like pause. That he's way more jacked. Pause. Yeah. You know what? He's just bigger. Pause. You can't say anything in this world anymore.
But dude, his triceps are like bulging like biceps. That's crazy.
No, extremely. I get it now, though. He's playing Hulk Hogan. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
notice the guy
He had the
fainted on the
he had the
side too.
bulk.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Should we go
And
help
then,
him? I mean, eventually,
no, yeah, let's not. And then this is an interesting shot.
because that would almost be something more like Guardians of the Galaxy ish.
Yeah, that might be at the beginning too, where they're fighting on that planet. Um, but yeah, July 8th, guys.
July 8th. Actually, I just thought maybe that's because he gets all in his fly jacket and everything. Maybe they're shooting a film on in New Asgard
Maybe, or
or a
on a
film.
different planet or something. Yeah.
Mhm, mhm,
Um, yeah. So I guess we probably have one more trailer
for
before
sure.
the movie comes out. I'm looking forward to it. I like Taika Waititi. I like his direction. I feel like they've given away that Thor is Gonzo, and maybe that could have been a bigger deal if
If we didn't know,
maybe, yeah. Like I feel like I already kind of know where this is all headed, and I don't know if that's good or bad. We'll have to see once I see the movie. But
right? Well,
yeah,
I think it begs the question: how did you feel when Tony Stark died?
I thought that was fine. I mean, the thing is like you have to figure out when to exit, and I think that that's fair for every sort of franchise to figure out when you roll these characters out. I don't know if Thor has any more legs in him after this. Probably doesn't. He probably doesn't have any more utility,
Hmm.
which is fine. I guess you have. I mean, like that. Their whole motto right now is kill all the old characters so that
Right,
we can bring out the new characters.
right,
Eh,
and that's why I said. No, sorry, I realized I cut you off just
No,
then.
no, it's cool. I just,
Um,
I just hope that I just wish that they wouldn't do it that way. Like you don't have to just just like they don't have to be around. You can just
right.
start making new stuff.
Well, and that's why I
We don't
said
mind.
at the beginning of this one, like they could have really just kind of went straight to Jane. As far
Yeah.
as you're concerned, if you watched even after Endgame, it was like, all right, give Thor a break. If you saw the way, what was that Ragnarok, he's floating off in space. Like it's a wrap. Or no, that was Endgame. That was Endgame. But
Mm,
he's just left floating off in space. Everybody is dead except him. Let it go.
yeah.
Let it go. We didn't need more out of Hemsworth, but you guys had to pay him, and you weren't going to pay him
Well,
for to
yeah.
sit at home.
Well,
So
he's got a contract. He's
right,
probably
that's all.
signed on for movies and stuff.
Yeah, they had to put him in something, and they don't have any more films to place him in, so they had to make another Thor because contractually he had to put something out this year.
I think it ties a bow. I mean, I think that that's fine. Cap got his sort of resolution. Iron Man got his resolution. It was only fitting to see Thor actually get some sort of resolution. I
What
just
was
don't
Cap's
know.
resolution?
Huh?
What was Cap's resolution?
Oh, Cap got to become an old man and pass the shield down to
Avengers Endgame.
Falcon.
Yep,
Yeah.
you're right. You're right.
And he got to go be with Peggy Carter or whatever. So he got his ending. I guess
Oh,
Thor
me too.
really hasn't gotten his ending, and we're gonna see the Hulk's ending in She-Hulk. So,
Right. Somebody else told me that, and I was like, "Say word." And I've been looking it
yeah,
up, and I haven't seen anything about it, but that makes sense.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's just
I don't like the way they did Thor in the last like two. I mean, Hulk in like the last three movies
me
though.
neither. And really, this is what it comes down to: is like the companies are too um they're too afraid to just do new characters without having to like pass the mantle.
Hmm.
Everything has to be about passing the mantle down. It's like, no, why, like you don't have to tie an old character to a new character to keep, the old fan base,
Right.
interested in the new character. If the new character is good, you're going to continue to have fans for that character.
Hmm.
No problem,
Right. No, I totally agree. Even watching the She-Hulk trailer, the question I had was, so what's the significance of Hulk? Oh, he's teaching her how to control her. She clearly has her anger under control. She's not
Yes.
bursting into She-Hulk in the
Yes.
middle of courtrooms.
Right. And that to me is kind of silly too, because it's like, okay, well, Bruce Banner, who is supposedly a genius scientist,
Hmm.
took forever to integrate Hulk into his personality.
Seemingly hasn't even done it in this one because he's still green, even though he has a high intellect.
Right. Well, he has the high intellect, and now he has like a proportion of the strength. I don't think he
Yeah,
has
he
full
doesn't.
Hulk
He has to
strength.
still rage out to
Yeah.
get full strength.
Right.
which is like, bruh, then why haven't you figured out how to become human again then?
I think it's because he likes to have the
I think
Hulk
he does
powers. Yeah. I
I
mean
think it's an
that's
addiction.
cool.
I
Yeah.
mean, listen, it's radiation, right?
Mhm.
Let's be real. Hulk is the only character ever written that the radiation doesn't eventually eat away and kill.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's impervious.
You see what I'm saying? So with that, it's like, nah, all right, there has to be some other fail safes. And that fail safe, in my opinion, would be that the radiation itself is addicting because that's why everybody else gets so jacked up on it because they can't stop.
Yeah. Well,
And
the
he is
other
attacking.
trade-off for somebody like Bruce is like, okay, you get probably, obviously extended strength, you have infinite durability, and now you probably have a much longer lifespan.
I was thinking that
You know.
what is the Hulk's lifespan? We know he dies, but we don't know how long the Hulk lives.
Yeah, and old man Logan, the Hulk's still around, and
Mhm.
that's, like
And
and
the Hulk lives past old man Logan.
right. Yeah, and Logan's old.
Mhm.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. The Hulk family and all that.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I think this is gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be a fun movie. Um, I don't know. It's gonna be hard to get me excited about any of the other stuff, and maybe that's why
Antagonist.
they have to tie everything. Yeah, it's like, what else do we got? I mean, are we
You don't want to
excited
see the
for?
Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Meh,
Quantumania?
meh,
Meh.
meh. I mean, poor Paul Rudd. He really didn't get the strongest franchise out of the group.
You feel bad for the Rudd, huh? You
Yeah,
know
he's
what?
a good guy.
Yeah, I agree with that. But in my opinion, I think Ant-Man is probably the perfect place for Paul Rudd to have landed as a character, like personally. And the reason I say that is he can still have fun.
Yeah.
Ant-Man isn't taken too seriously, so he doesn't have to I never even used this term, but he doesn't have to be so canon.
Mm.
Um, whereas imagine Paul Rudd if he were Hawkeye even, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
They'd have to bolt down on that. And I think it takes away some of the creativity from certain types of actors. Some people are just, they're made for certain roles. Like I don't think anybody saw Robert Downey being able to be Iron Man, but you compare his real life to Tony Stark's life, and you're like, wait, oh, you overcame a lot of different stuff. Like you actually might be able to be one of the very few people who can properly convey this character.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, those kind of things I think come into play with a guy like Paul Rudd. I don't deny that he would have done great with a larger role, but I think the goal was for him to make Ant-Man more than anybody else could have. I don't think anybody else could have made Ant-Man what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think it's that much right now, right? I mean, Ant-Man's not
Better than the
very
Green Lantern.
integral. Yeah, yeah, he is. I mean, I guess he introduces the concept of time travel to the Avengers, so I guess that
Yeah.
he has one integral moment in the whole thing.
Well,
He
and
should have
multiverse.
crawled up Thanos's butt.
Should have called up Thanos, but I mean, I would even say he's the reason for the learning of the multiverse when you think of the quantum verse or the
Mhm.
the quantum verse.
Quantum Mania. Yeah, I mean, it'll probably be entertaining.
For the
But
record, I wasn't really excited for any of the Ant-Man or Wasp before. I'm not gonna say I'm excited for Quantumania, but I am interested.
yeah, uh, it might be cool to get into that world and see more stuff. But again, I just don't know where the future of all of this is going. Um, and
I don't
that's
think we
okay.
do either.
I'm not sure that they do. I think that they're kind of throwing a whole bunch of spaghetti at the wall right now and seeing what sticks.
But
So
yeah, I agree. And a perfect example of that is even at the beginning of Phase 3, we knew there would be a Phase 4.
right.
There's no note of anything called Phase 5 or anything that goes beyond, I want to say 2025-ish.
I don't think we need it.
I don't think so either. I think we'll actually probably stop 2023, beginning of 2024, with some of the animated series and stuff that are coming, and some of the regular series that are coming. But
Yeah.
overall, I'm just curious, like the way this whole thing went, all of the phases coming around now is like Phase 4, like you said, it's more of the extinguish.
Yeah, they climaxed at Endgame. That sucks. It's hard for that. It's hard to bring back that sort of
Oh
that.
yeah, $3 billion on one movie. That's definitely your peak.
Shout out to If Numbers Could Talk. Go check out that episode.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's in store for the cinematic universe. I don't know what they're going to be doing next. I remember that. I mean, we still have Guardians of the Galaxy as well. We haven't seen any footage from that. Um, so who knows what that's going to be about? But they'll probably kill off Star-Lord. So,
well, I mean, look, the next few movies that are lined up, and we have no information, no trailers. We don't even know for sure if they're in production because it's not really being talked about widely. You could go online and see like they might have a note somewhere that says in production, but you don't see anybody talking about these things. Wakanda Forever is supposed to come out before Quantumania, and both of those are supposed to come out before Guardians of the Galaxy. But we know for sure Guardians of the Galaxy is coming. You see what
it's
I mean?
kind of, they say it is, yeah, for sure.
They're guaranteeing that before the two that are scheduled before it.
Yeah, I think they're going to do a lot of schedule switching. A lot of and you know what I was thinking too, because you had mentioned about Black Panther in your show. If Numbers Could Talk, go check it out. I was thinking, man, I think they're so hesitant to reboot Black Panther, but it would be really cool to see like Black Panther Begins, where it's like the first person that made contact with the Panther spirit, and then how like
it's gonna be about.
Oh, okay, that'd be cool. I would like to see that because that would be super sweet.
Right. I think that's what the series is going to be about, and I think that's going to be an animated series. Reason being, you could do so much more with origin stories in that.
It'd be like Samurai Jack, where you have him like going through the spirit world and stuff.
Listen,
that'd be
not
sick.
one of the greatest shows to ever be on TV. Don't tease me like that, man.
I think that would be a great way to sort of like reinvigorate the franchise. Is get like the first person that makes contact with the Panther spirit in the spirit world, and then he has to explore the spirit world and master the energy of the Black Panther and all of that.
Which is only, I want to say, Black Panther's name is, what's Black Panther's name?
T'Challa.
T'Challa, thank you. I want to say it's only T'Challa's great grandfather.
Right.
Like his father's grandfather. So it's like it's
not
like
you wouldn't have to go back too far.
Lineage, right?
And and maybe Wakanda is just being established there. You could add in, like how Wakanda gets established, how they decide to, relinquish themselves and sort of put up the barriers and all of that stuff.
And it's funny because they tell those stories. That story is told in the Wakanda movie, in Black Panther 1, I believe.
I think
I'm not sure where that story is told.
I think they talk about it like tangentially,
yeah. They just talk about like the meteor, the 5 tribes, the splitting of the 5 tribes. But you're right. To see the play out of it would be great. It would it would be very resonant of how we see like the old school Viking movies.
If Disney had any balls, they could make a Game of Thrones-esque show based on just that, the 5 tribes that found the meteorite of vibranium.
I'm down. Sack up, Disney.
Yeah. What are you doing, man?
Right here, man.
What are you doing? That is an award-winning show right there.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, that would be great. I couldn't even see that going wrong. I don't care if we got the people who did season 8. That can't go wrong.
It'd just be like this vying for the power and the position and like how they had to maneuver all of that. That would be really cool.
And then it basically turns into Snowfall, except it's about vibranium instead of cocaine.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, you got anything else that you wanted to add, man?
No. Again, reiterating, I have not been this excited about a trailer in a while. Disney definitely nailed it with this one. It even, as you guys see, have us talking about other things we're excited about. So that's a good sign. I'm excited for the next trailer. I think this trailer is the best trailer so far. But I have enjoyed I did enjoy the other trailer. This is only trailer number 2. So yeah,
for sure. All right, sweet. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. We really appreciate all of you out there for taking the time out of your day to listen to us yammer on about movies and TV. And we hope that you enjoyed this episode. Let us know what you think of the trailer. Are you excited to see Thor or not excited? Do you think Jane is going to fall in love with Thor or kick his ass? let us know. You can leave a comment down below and we would love to hear from you. Thank you so much, you guys. We really appreciate it. We're a part of a podcast network, and we all have podcasts that we do on our own. If you want to check those out, we have a show almost every day of the week for you guys. So this show, Screen Time Continuum, is Wednesdays and Sundays at 8:30 p.m. You can check us out on Facebook and on YouTube. Keelan's got a podcast on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. It's called If Numbers Could Talk. Make sure you go check out his Facebook and his YouTube page, If Numbers Could Talk. He's also on Spotify. He just did a Marvel episode, so go check him out on that one. He breaks down all the revenue from all the phases, so don't want to miss that. If Numbers Could Talk, Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Deshaun the Mustard, friend of our podcast and co-host, has a Twitch channel. It's called Strawberries and Coffee. He's Tuesday nights and Thursday nights at 10:30 p.m. Strawberries and Coffee on Twitch. He also has a YouTube page. You can check out his archive at Strawberries and Coffee. I got a podcast. It's called Exofathom. It's on Friday nights at 8 p.m. You can check us out on Facebook and on YouTube. We're also on Verbal and Rumble and Odyssey as well. You can check us out. Keelan has a podcast with his wife, Bobby, on Saturday morning. It's called This Married Moment, from between 10 a.m. to noon, somewhere in that sweet spot Saturday mornings. Every Saturday, they're giving you new episodes, getting into conversations, all of the stuff you wanted to hear people's opinions on, but you might have been too afraid to ask. Go check out This Married Moment with Keelan and Bobby Saturday mornings. I think that's it. Did I miss anybody?
No, that's all for now.
For now. Stay tuned. We're going to be adding more content for you guys, so we hope that you enjoy all of this. But thank you, and until next time, good night. Oh, I got to hit the banner. So awkward.